biggest, baddest bully. And now we understand what Iran is doing. Iran is now attacking this entire edifice. If you think about it, what Iran recognizes is this. I cannot attack empire directly. Okay, it's too powerful. They have nuclear weapons. I'm not going to attack the education, media, cultural system of America because it's too embedded. I can't attack the UN and WTO because it's all being controlled by America. So the only thing I can attack is what? The global economy, right? That's why they closed out the Strait of Hormuz. Because once they put pressure on the global economy, and that's all interconnected, it destroys the entire edifice. Do you understand? It is a house of cards. You find the weak point, and you hit it so it all collapses. Okay? And that's why Iran is doing what it's doing. And what this also tells us is this. There can be no ceasefire. There can be no truce. There can be no peace. Because both the American empire and Iran are fighting for the nature and structure of reality itself. Alright? And the third thing I want you guys to be aware of is this. Remember in Plato's allegory of the cave, they really don't have to do anything because the prisoners themselves want to protect the system. Well, this is true as well. Where if you are in education, media, and culture, and you are at the very top, you are not in power, but you benefit from the system. And therefore, you insist on protecting the system at all costs. And these people, of course, are called the boomers. Okay? Okay, not all of them, okay? But the elite of the boomers, even though they themselves don't have that much power, there's a lot of them, okay? And they will fight, they will make their politicians and the military fight to the death to maintain the illusion of empire, which benefits them. Alright? Again, Plato's allegory of the cave. Okay, alright. So, now we can answer all three questions. Why did this war start? Because America had no choice in the matter, okay? It had to defend the illusion that the American empire was invincible. Otherwise, this entire edifice would collapse, okay? When will this war end? This war ends when the global economy is destroyed. Because once the global economy is destroyed, this entire edifice collapses. Okay? And what will happen after this war? Well, a new world will emerge where there are different spheres of influence. Okay? But we'll discuss this later on. But I first introduce to you the big structure of what's going on. Okay? Alright. So now what I want to do is I want to go more into the structure of this world. Okay? This. What I want to show you is that Jeffrey Epstein is one of the operators of the system. He works for the Rothschilds, as well as secret societies, as well as transnational capital, and he is embedded in science, crime, and intelligence, okay? And again, the evidence is something called the Epstein files. All right, so let's look at the Epstein files. Okay, so this is Jeffrey Epstein, and this is Donald Trump. All right. Jeffrey Epstein died in 2019 in a federal prison. And he was being charged with many crimes. And the FBI ran an investigation into him. And just recently, the United States, called the Department of Justice, the DOJ, on their website, they released about 3 million documents pertaining to the Epstein investigation. And a lot of these are emails. And what you discover is that he knows everyone who's powerful in the world. So for the longest time, it was believed that Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent. Okay? And his job was to lure powerful Americans such as Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, to his island called Epstein Island, where he would film them engage in compromising activities. And then he would blackmail them. Okay? And that was, for the longest time, what people understood to be Jeffrey Epstein's role. But then when you look at the emails, what you recognize is that